Good morning, everyone. Today is May the 1st, 2019. Wanted to talk about, sort of in a question mark, but we know what the ultimate answer is after you hear this. But I've heard or viewed a narration by someone on another social media site as to those who gang stalk individuals. Can't you see that this person who just comes and goes, doesn't do any of the things that have been said about them? Maybe they're just ordinary individuals that go to the store, go out if they still have family, or whatever. Just doing normal stuff. Like I used to, back in the days, just before the program became overt, 2011. I always used to go to the dollar store. And after months of observing these two guys, they were always at the coffee shop, right? One lived in my building. And one day the guy says, "You sure go to the dollar store a lot. How would they know that?" Well, I discovered they were perps. More so the one that was in the building, because he was the one that was what you would call the errand boy for the property manager, the investigator, who used to be a former investigator. I started to tie everything up yesterday. I'm looking at things pathologically to see the connections between certain things I've seen and tie it up to certain other things beyond what I call the gang stalking tactics by that property manager. But so you're doing ordinary things, but they're still going to gang stalk you, of course. But don't they say that this is an ordinary person? Now, when it comes to criminal innuendos that they make, why is it that they're always trying to set you up? Or if they say you're a pedophile, child molester, why are they putting kids in your way? Huh? Anywhere you go, you don't bother with other people's kids. Do you see what I'm talking about? What I'm talking about is that the whole issue of gang stalking, under many guises, many types of programs, many types of approaches, started out with possibly with a real investigation from a corporation, property manager. Anything's possible, right? One or two. But how can a person, based on other reports, be investigated for 30, 40 years of bogus investigations? And I answered myself. Informers, maybe before the advent of social media, smartphones, snitches, through conversations, whatever. But now it's social media, and we've got eyes all over the place. That's why they keep on videoing you. That's the continuation of the bogus investigation. And all you're doing is walking around, going to the grocery store like I usually do. But for those that are diehards, like my relatives, all they do, day in, day out, trying to find something on me, trying to set me up, failing. But they sit around, they listen for anything. You know, back, 3-4 years, I was so angry with them. And I got angry because of the massive stuff they did on the psychological level and the threats. And yes, of course you'd be angry. You could say, they should be convicted. Yeah, they could be convicted, but I would do everything legally. But that's what I mean. And then after the anger subsides, you start to talk peacefully, and because you've grown in knowledge, and they're still looking for something because the well has gone dry. You've become the major enemy. The trouble is that they love the social interaction of this whole thing. They love the social media. They love putting in their likes and dislikes. Did you know I was reading an actual well-known media news that they found that criminals used Facebook closed groups for selected members to view hideous crimes, murders, whatever. They didn't say too much about it, and people could actually like it or dislike it. They didn't say too much about it, but it was kind of interesting to see it. And I believe conceptually that this is what gang stalking is also about. I believe it's on Facebook somewhere. Closed groups. I can tell you something. Joanna M., who, this is before 2018, she was actually sitting there looking at her smartphone, and she's looking at something, and she's saying out loud, well, that's really nothing. Everybody, does this and all that. And I don't know. Intuitively, I gleaned that she was looking at something. She's always snapping her lips as if she's gained some great knowledge. I've gained more knowledge from this woman because of her loose lips than anybody that could ever be witness. It was from her I got to get going into really knowing who these relatives were. But I'm getting off track. The bottom line is this, that in the end, people could look at somebody day in and day out who could be what you call mild gang stalking. I know they still do their stuff, but the point of it is, when they see you, they may video you or whatever, so that they can prove that they saw you. Maybe that's one thing. They could comment on you. But the bottom line is that they could see you every day and you're not doing anything. But I will say this to you. There's this one old guy. I'm not going to accuse him, but he's very half and half suspicious. Point of it is that they could be waiting for you to say something that would make your profile, which is a lot of TI's profile, oh, she's really mentally ill because now she's talking about gang stalking. Who knows? That's why you got to be careful of what you're saying with anybody, because you can go down that dark road and whatever. That's why I do YouTube videos. That's why I comment on or write up posts on another site, so that, I can talk about it. I don't care what anyone has to say. It's out there. You know what I mean? So anyways, sort of answering questions about, some questions about what other people sort of put out there about the whole issue. But don't you see? Yeah, people see. People see that that person is not what is really on the profile. Second, and this is the thing, when they go around, they actually go around with bulletins with your picture on it if they're going in a neighborhood. I've seen it, flyers. But if you are handed one, then how come it's not on a police site offenders list? Interesting. Wouldn't people be asking this? That's the whole thing. How come it's not posted on a website, under a police station, whatever? Think about it. Really think about it.